And his answer was kind of a gut punch. Welcome back to the Homestead. I am Jeff, the Homestead Dad. And these first two videos are going to be probably a little bit shorter. I would say certainly under 10 minutes, unless I get really lengthy in my talking. And I'm going to explain why that is very shortly. But I'm going to start with, as you can tell, we don't have, in fact, this house is probably more secluded from neighbors than our last house. The neighbor on this side has a house about 150 yards back that way. There's a neighbor on the other side of the street way over there, but the street is right there. And in the winter, you can see cars going by. I'm planning on planting trees up along here to get us some more privacy as we had in the last house. And then over there, neighbor isn't until way over there. So we have quite a bit of privacy. Kids want to, I think the kids are like, hey, we haven't done videos in a while. What is Dad doing again? So that leads me to, we're out in the country. And as such, if you guys followed the channel for any length of time, you know that at our last house, when we first moved there, we didn't have high-speed internet. We had, I think it was HughesNet or whatever the HughesNet version was at that time. So it was expensive, it was slow, and when I wanted to upload a video, I had to do it at like 5 o'clock in the morning before our throttled time set in. It was not so much fun. But about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, one of the, I think it was Charter Spectrum, put in a line because one of the neighbors down the street just bought a house and actually got them on, recorded them on the phone because they told him that he could get high-speed internet and he needed it for work. So they had to get it to him. So we got high-speed internet there. So when we were looking at this house, we specifically asked the person who's selling this house, the real estate agent, if they had high-speed internet here, and we were told yes. So when we came here for our final walkthrough the day before we were closing, the owner was here, and I said to him, I said, oh yeah, I was just curious who I needed to call in order to get the internet set up, the high-speed internet. And his answer was kind of a gut punch. He told us that he went to the local library and checked out hotspots, and he just used that for his internet. And I said, say what? Yeah, so no high-speed internet. Our cell coverage also not so bueno here. It's actually very hit or miss. So we started, and for the last 6 months while we've lived here, we have checked out hotspots and our phones for the internet, which means it's kind of difficult to upload large videos because it just takes a long time. And if the phone, like if I'm using my phone, a lot of times for the computer, I'll just plug my phone in and it uses my phone's internet. But if it, blitzes out, in fact, on top of the house, we put an antenna that points to the closest cell tower. And then there's an antenna in the house that boosts the signal to make it better because our signal was awful. And our son, whose bedroom is in the basement, he couldn't get any signal at all. So now with it, at least with that antenna, he's able to get some, we're able to call him if we're not home and he's in the basement. So that's one of the reasons that we are unable, or that I haven't been so gung-ho to post videos, is because it's just been kind of a pain at doing anything with regards to internet. A few weeks ago, I had been on the waiting list for Starlink, and it's still not 100% available in our area. But a few weeks ago, they sent an email saying, we understand that some people don't have another option for internet, so we're going to make it available to you as our best effort internet. And pretty much what they said was, we would be throttled during high use times, but during other times we'll get internet. And I just happened to talk to a friend who has Starlink internet here, and he said it's been great. So I bit the bullet and I said, okay, let's go with their best effort internet and see how it goes. Hopefully that comes within the next couple of weeks, because what we've been doing has just been pretty terrible. I've looked at other things. Both T-Mobile and Verizon have their whole house internet. Neither one of them have it available at our location. No Bad Internet is one that I had looked at, and I was about to order Nomad Internet because the upfront costs were lower than Starlink. But then I saw, I've been following a bunch of RVing type channels and mobile people who live on the road, and they were all about it to start, and then they said the customer service was bad and things were going downhill. So I decided not to go with Nomad Internet. So I've never used them. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm just saying I heard some bad things, or heard some less than stellar things about them. So I decided to go with Starlink. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it makes it easier for me to upload videos, because as I'm looking at the clock on my phone, this video is getting longer, and that means it's going to take longer to upload. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, because this is one of the things that I think you should think about if you're moving someplace, is what is your internet availability? I know the whole west side of the United States of America, you can get full blast Starlink like today, I think. Midwest and the east side of the United States, not as much. So if you don't have cable internet and you can't do that, that's something that you may want to think about. Especially if you plan on doing all of your TV through YouTube or YouTube TV, or whatever other streaming service you have. It makes it really difficult to not have internet. I mean, when I grew up, we didn't really hardly even have internet until I was in middle school, and then it was dial-up internet and the so I'm dating myself by doing that, but it's amazing how dependent we've become on that kind of thing. I mean, just the devices that we use and all of those things that can connect to the internet, use Bluetooth and yada, yada, yada. So that's one of the first things that I would say when you're planning a homestead, is know what your internet availability is, because it's going to affect your entire life. Maybe you think of it as a positive to not have the internet, and my wife and I definitely see the upsides to it, because the kids have been far less connected to screens, which has been great. But it's also a downside on some other things. So hopefully Starlink comes soon. Hopefully posting videos becomes easier. But until then, I'm going to do these shorter videos, and we'll upload them on my phone, and they'll get there when they get there. And I have to say, I really appreciate all of the kind comments when I posted that I'm coming back and that I've been demonetized. You guys know how to make a guy feel good about himself. So thank you guys for that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. Otherwise, we'll do some more planning in the next video. God bless you guys and your family, and we'll see you in the next video.